Welcome back. Welcome to Wednesday. Um, I have been really getting into the YouTube thing. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, this is more therapeutic than anything. I still got a regular job, so still got regular, things. So this is kind of a good distraction. But I'm also into stuff. So for me, this is great. But I'm getting into like my studio, right? So I got some pretty good lights, decent anyway for the space that I'm in. I think it works well. And my camera is what I've been focusing on upgrading now. So before I was filming with a Canon 80D and a Logitech Brio for any top-down shots that I wanted to take. I am switching that up so now I have the Canon 80D taking the top down shots, and I'm waiting for another camera. I decided to go with something a little older, the Sony Alpha A5100. And the reason why I went with that one is, the reason why I didn't go with a Canon product for my shots is because there are some limitations in the firmware. I think they're great cameras, but there are some limitations. For example, on the 80D, it will give you clean HDMI out, but you can't have autofocus on. So you need to be in manual focus mode. So that's a challenge, except, when you're doing a top-down shot. Typically, the product or whatever it is that you're shooting is in a fixed location, so you don't need to adjust the focus that much. So since I already have it, it just worked. So the camera investment that I'm making, I think, is a little bit older. I guess I could have went with like an A6400 or something like that, but for what I need right now as a hobby, I don't think that I need anything. In the future, if it works out, and great. But for right now, I think that the A5100 is going to be perfectly fine. It does 1080p, and that's great. In between all this, so for my Canon 80D, I bought a I think it's right here. I bought an Elgato Camlink 4K. This little thing is awesome. It's great, super reliable. Doesn't fail. Again, I'm not doing it. I'm not using it for any gaming or anything like that. It's just to interface the 80D with OBS. Is basically what I'm recording in, and then I do my post. If I need to, I do my post in DaVinci. And I've learned all this stuff by trial and error and using and watching YouTube videos. So, but from what I understand now, Elgato was purchased by another company, and that company escapes my mind. I can't think of who it is. Anyway, so it's kind of hard to find their hardware, and like the price is higher. So I saw another YouTuber feature a product that I thought was great. They were gaming. And so I said, okay, the principle is still the same, the price point is right, and my son plays video games. He's 5, by the way. He's amazing. But he does do video games, and we've been talking about maybe doing a YouTube channel streaming his games. So what I did, what I ended up doing is purchasing. So rather than get a Camlink, I got an, I should probably show you this side. What is this thing called? Oh, yeah. It's from Razer. It's Razer's entry into the market. Well, this is like their follow-up product. But what's cool about this is it is a an adapter. It does 1080p at 60 frames per second. It has a Type-C port. I'm assuming that's for power, so USB to Type-C, that's pretty cool. It does HDMI in and out, so that's cool. So it's a typical streaming capture card. So you can use it for live streaming gaming, into OBS. So that's cool. Checks that box off if I want to reuse this for my son. But for me, it will also be my interface for capturing my camera. And then if I wanted to, I could technically install another monitor, like a little small monitor, and have my monitor my camera. But I don't think I need to do that because the camera that I bought, the Sony, and I may do a review on it just like my setup. The the camera that I bought has a monitor that flips all the way up to kind of like serve as your monitor. So that's really the main, aside from the image quality, it was fantastic. I did get it with a I think I want to 16 to 20, I don't know, maybe 16 to 35 millimeter lens. So I'm going to definitely start with that one. I know that there's some aftermarket lenses that you can use, like the Sigma is supposed to be really good. But I'm not spending any more money. Like, I think that's going to be good. So, yeah, we're going to do an unboxing of this puppy right here. And the setup should be really easy. I'm not expecting any serious problems. It's got full audio mixing capability. I mean, this is way more than I need, but for the price point, to me, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer because the Elgato Cam Link, I think for that one I probably paid $100. Like I'll have to go check. But for now they're like 180. So it didn't just make sense. I think the cheapest one I found was like 160. New. I didn't want anything used. 160. This was 159. They sell them at Best Buy. And I had some leftover Best Buy bucks that I didn't even know about. So I ended up getting this thing after everything was said and done. I think it cost me like $90 or something like that. So for me, this was like a no-brainer. So I'm interested to check it out. So let's get to let's unbox it. So where is my trusty knife? So I've got the old knife ready. You can see. Okay, let's do this. The packaging is cool. I like when they do these little things, like nice little fabric ribbon. That's pretty cool. So this is what you get. Oh, look at that. It's nice. It's nice. It's like a little intro from the co-founder, CEO, and creative director, Min Liang Tan. Sweet. Shout out to Min. And here's the whole thing right here. So you get that. You can see that. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna spare you the horrifying audio. When I originally opened this, I did originally open it on video. The problem was our audio sounded terrible when we went back over it, so I didn't want to torture you with horrible sounding audio. So I'll just go through what came in the box. And basically, you got your manual, a great 3.5 millimeter audio cable, braided, high quality, fantastic. You have the USB 3.0 to USB-C to power the device. Nice, thick braided cable. That's pretty amazing. and then you have a nice thick HDMI cable, high quality. You know, Razer's they're catering to the gaming community, so they got to make high quality products, which is the whole reason why I thought this was a fantastic value, because it's definitely going to exceed my needs. Just for interfacing a DSLR, and the form factor is beautiful, and they did a great job. Looks nice pad. So that's it. I mean, it's a pretty quality package. I'm happy with that. Razer's focused on gaming. You know, gaming has some resource requirements always, right? The more the better. So they want to pack this in order to satisfy the customer. You know, this thing is gonna go hard, and I know that. I like the fact that it runs just off the USB-C. That's awesome. So for my needs, I'm sure that this will be more than enough. One of the other things about the Elgato Cam Link, since these are now kind of close in price, is the fact that it's one piece and it kind of just plugs directly into the back of, you know, and that's kind of it's a little weird right now. I had to finagle some where the USB things are. I'll have to do some finagling with that. But I do like the fact that it's kind of, you know, this is kind of your remote control. Just plug it in. You can kind of put it on your desk, or you can mount it underneath the desk, right? Whatever you want to do, that's great. So yeah, this is really great. So good looking product. Good looking product. The aesthetics are nice. Yeah, so that's it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll post a follow-up, I guess, at some point to see how it went. But yeah, it's coming together. I'm excited. Subscribe to support the channel. You know, we can keep in touch. Let me know in the comments what hardware you're running, or your experience with the Razer device, if you had it, or the Cam Link, or if there's something else that I should be looking at. Happy to consider anything. For me, it's the technology. The budget isn't always the bottom line, and it should never be that way. You should always be looking to strike the balance between quality and price. You don't necessarily, like, there's a threshold, so you can spend $10,000 on a pair of headphones, or $1,000 on a pair of headphones, and then you can spend $300 on a pair of headphones, and you can spend $50. The difference between the $50 headphones and the $300 headphones is going to be like night and day. But the difference between the $300 headphones and the $1,000 headphones, it's probably not even noticeable when you get to that point. So that's kind of where I always try to strike that balance of quality versus price, and kind of be in the middle somewhere. So if you heard of better unit, or you want me to grab it and review it, let me know what it is, and I'll do that. Happy to do that. I'm sure I'll be hosting a giveaway at some point for some of the stuff that we've gotten. Some of it's great, some of it's not that great, but it's free, so what do you care? Anyway, thank you for watching.